Hi there, and thanks for joining me. So Yorke House is now finished. Hurrah! And I'm rather pleased with how it's come out. So for anyone who hasn't watched any of my previous videos, I'll just give a quick summary on how I came across this house. So a lady in the village was selling this house. It was built by her late mother. And basically there was a magazine called Del Prado. And I think weekly the magazine would come out and you would make part of the house that week. So they would provide you with all the equipment you needed and all the instructions to build the house. Now, as far as I can work out, there was 125 issues of this particular magazine so you could build this house, which took about 2.5 years. So the lady who built the house had a huge amount of patience and obviously worked very diligently to get the house built. So the lady's daughter lives in my village and the daughter just couldn't keep the house. So I bought it off her, including all the furniture. And it's an absolutely stunning house, as I'm sure you'd agree, including all the figures and all the furniture. And I've done an unboxing video when I look through all the goodies that I've bought. So check that one out if you haven't already done so. Now, it was pretty up together when I bought it, but it had obviously been displayed in a window. So some of the panelling, especially on this sort of conservatory unit, was very yellow indeed. So I had to spray paint all of these sort of panels because they were incredibly yellow. Couldn't really live with it that way. And of course, the trouble is when you start spraying something white, it makes everything look more yellow than perhaps they did before. So I spray painted these panels here on the conservatory unit, and that then made all the windows in the house look very yellow. So I then spray painted all those too. Now, the front of the house was very white, as was the conservatory unit. And I'm a little bit more, I like a little bit contrast in my houses. And I am a bit of a magpie, hence the gold. And the gold here, I guess. So I put the grey on the pillars here and the grey here as well. And then the gold. And then I carried those colours over to the house. We've got grey lintels on the windows with grey detailing too. Now these sort of balconies here, these were originally sort of like a dark brown, and they looked all right when the windows were white, but when I added a bit of colour to the windows, and there's actually gold panelling on these top windows as well, the sort of brown metal didn't really work, so I painted these gold, and as well as the steps at the front of the house you'll see there. As I say, I'm a bit of a magpie, and I think it's important to put your own sort of like stamp on your own houses, isn't it? And if you like gold like I do, then go for it. So that's exactly what I've done. The house also had some of the lighting installed. It was the original lighting, so each room had a ceiling light, but I've actually added a lot more lighting to the house as well, and I've done a video on that too, and we guess which light I'm going to light up. So it's got in total, I think it's 16 lights in total in this house. So it was quite a lighting feat to get it all lit up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop behind the camera and we'll have a closer look at the conservatory unit first, and then we'll go inside the house and take a peek at all the rooms and see what's going on inside. So here's the conservatory stroke patio unit, and we've got a man and a lady sat on the patio and they're enjoying afternoon tea, and they've got cakes on the table there. We've got a little dog there sat on a stool looking up at his mistress, and some flowers on the patio too. We'll go down into the bottom of the patio and you'll see we've got a piano in there, and there's a man playing on the piano. A couple of gorgeous seats in there, sort of high back, sort of Tudor looking seats. We've got a little dog as well, looking at the person playing on the piano, as well as some flowers there on the steps leading up to the conservatory. And on the front you can see we've got the gold and grey colour carrying over from the conservatory. So we've got the gold and grey on the conservatory here, and we carry that colour scheme over to the main house. And we've got flowers growing up on the balconies as well. And we're peeking into some of the rooms there, aren't we? Getting a little sneak peek of what it looks like inside the house. And going down to the windows. On the ground floor, slightly different design. They're actually arch windows on the ground floor. And we've got some flowers here that match the ones on the balcony upstairs. So we've got these big planters. on either side of the main steps. And then we've got a little planter there outside the front door full of flowers. And another planter there on the bottom step. That's actually a slightly different design. That's like a ceramic planter. So I think it's now time to go and have a look inside the house. Okay, so I think we'll start off in the nursery. So we've got these two rooms. These are attic rooms, so they sit underneath the main roof. And we'll start off in this room, which is the nursery. So we've got little baby in her cot with her teddy bear. And we've got a little teddy bear on the bedside table with a lamp, chalkboard, and a little rocking horse there on the floor. Coming forward, you can see we've got a rocking chair and a little train track on the floor. We've got another baby in the high chair. We've got a little wooden train on the floor there and a replica of this house. I find that absolutely charming that we've got a doll's house inside of a doll's house. We've got another teddy bear sitting on a toy box. And anyone who's watched my lighting video will know that that toy box there is where all the lighting circuit for the house is hidden. So in there, I've got a little circuit board where all the wires go into, and that's the lighting for the house all hidden in there. Here we've also got a table with some fruit on there, because I guess we're trying to make all the children nice and healthy. And a plant pot and a little bird on the table. And we've got the little boy there now. I think he's got his hands full, hasn't he, if he's got to look after two babies. But I get the impression he's just there helping out while one of the adults is doing something else. You can see there as well the bedside lamp is like a circular, like a balloon-shaped bedside lamp. So that's got to light it, as has the ceiling light. And we'll move across to the study. So here we've got, I guess, Dad of the house. He's there in his study. We've got a bookcase behind him and an old-fashioned telephone. And he's sat in his study. He's got some books on his desk, a newspaper, and a little loyal dog sitting in a basket. We've got an awful lot of dogs in this house. I do like dogs. And again, this beautiful lamp here actually creates quite a sort of rainbow effect, but unfortunately I think the camera sort of takes the colours out of the rainbow, which is a real shame. And then we'll move down to the next floor. And I'll just open this door and we'll have a peep inside of the bedroom. So in the bedroom we've got this beautiful rug and a bed. Now the bed originally had a really narrow pillow on it, and I wasn't very happy with the pillow because I thought, oh, that's way too narrow. No one has a pillow that narrow. So I actually sort of unstuck it and made it a bit wider and put that lace on it, that little trim on it, just to make it sort of cover up where I'd actually sort of adjusted it. I think the pillow is more in keeping with the rest of the bed now. We've got a beautiful picture above the bed, a bedside table with a little teddy bear on the bedside table, a little jug and vase, and a light, a sewing machine, and a mirror. And on this side, we've got the chest of drawers. And as you might have seen on my previous video as well, that one thing I discovered when doing this house is that the furniture actually has different door handles on it, which I had no idea. I kind of assumed they'd all be the same, but you can see here, this style is actually different to that style, which was a real eye-opener. And coming into here, we've got a jewellery box. And inside the jewellery box, we've got some gems, like a little necklace and some little pearls. I do think the jewellery box is absolutely charming. I've also added a few extra pictures to the wall. I think this big picture on the back wall was already here, but I've added extra little things like this just to add more details to the house. Same in the nursery. I added the little picture of like a fairy here and the little chalkboard. I think the cats were already above the cot. I thought that was rather cute for a nursery. So next we've got the bathroom. And in the bathroom, I've made these towels to go on the towel rail. And we've got the bath with the beautiful sort of claw feet. A little table with another jug on it. Sink. Toilet. And then we've got like a water heater. As I've discussed in a previous video, I'm not sure the water heater probably would have gone in the bathroom. I think it probably would have been in the kitchen. But I thought it worked quite nicely in the bathroom. So I popped it in here. And we've got another one of these lovely sort of like almost Victorian sort of pictures here, which I've added to the wall. And I've actually added this light as well so that they can see what they're doing when they're in the bathroom. And this picture here is new as well. So I added that picture frame and added the picture to it. I thought it was rather charming. And you might not be able to see, but there's little black dots in the picture. They're actually cats, which I thought was rather apt for a very animal-friendly house that we've got here. And we'll go down into the ground floor. And we'll start off in the kitchen. And you can see the maid is in the kitchen working hard. She's got lots of washing up to do. But you can tell it's a very posh family, can't you? Because they've actually got gold crockery. Behind her is a beautiful dresser with some crockery on it. And the cooker there, the hearth. So we've got lights inside of the hearth as well, flickering nicely. And we've got some cheese board that's just been popped on the hearth and won't want to leave it there for very long because all the cheese will melt. And then we've got some pots and pans and an iron on the hearth as well. We've got some sort of apples in there, basket on the floor. And you can see there's a table set up in the kitchen as well. So someone's having egg on toast. That's rather nice, isn't it? With a newspaper. On the wall here, we've got a lovely utensil set and its holder on the wall. Got a picture on the wall there as well of some flowers. We've got a washing basket, sort of bucket, sorry, on the floor with an umbrella. And there's the basement as well. And in those basements are two lights as well. You might not be able to see very clearly as it's quite bright, but in a minute we'll turn the lights off and have a look in the dark. And then we'll move across into the lounge. And here we've got sort of mum sat there with her tea set with a little girl. And I think they're having a game of chess, don't you? In fact, they've got a chessboard out on the table. And we've got another little dog here looking up at the little girl. Now, this little girl does bother me somewhat because she looks like she's got a chalk ice on her head. Is it just me, or does that look like a chalk ice? So I think I might have to do something with the top of her head so it looks less chalk icy, but that's a job for another day. So we've got a beautiful picture on the wall, a little chair there, got a little wine on the sideboard, one on the bookcase, and books inside of there. A plant, and on the mantelpiece we've got a clock, some flowers, and a light, and a beautiful mirror. We've got lights in the fireplace as well. Little dog sat on the chair, and some crockery in the unit behind mum there, and a grandfather clock which has a door that opens, and inside you can see the pendulum for the clock. And earlier on we were talking about cats, and I forgot to mention, but on the kitchen we've got two little cats there playing on the floor. And the light from the oven looks like the cats are actually chasing that light, aren't they? I'll just pull back so you can see all the rooms from the house. So we've got the nursery, the study, the bedroom, the bathroom, the lounge, and the kitchen. And I think that's an absolutely gorgeous house, and I hope you agree. So it does seem to have an awful lot of dogs and cats in it. I think we've got 1, 2, 3 dogs in the house, plus 2 cats, and 2 dogs on the conservatory. So that's an awful lot of dogs, isn't it? But why not? Now, one of the things I'm going to show you is how I've actually got the roof. So it hinges. It's just a picture hook, the sort of one you might find on the wall. So here we've got the hook on the back of the house with some fishing wire that just goes up to this hook, which then enables the roof to stay open. So in order to open the roof, all we do is we get the hook that's attached to its fishing wire, and we just open the roof, and then put the hook over there. Very, very simple, as I'm sure you'd agree. On the back of the house, you've got the mains lead. This is a 12-volt power adapter that goes into the main socket. And then from here, I run down some wire to this wire here, and this then sits at the bottom of the house, and then this bit then plugs into the conservatory, which then allows the lantern on the conservatory to be lit as well. So it's all connected, but it means that also if I unplug this, I can move the conservatory around and have it separate, which is ideal. This becomes separated from the house and I can just move it around at will. As I discussed previously, I'm going to be doing talks with my houses, and I didn't want it all as just one big unit because I felt it would be too easy to get this broken. But this is absolutely ideal. It just becomes a separate unit and I can transport it around. And then when I'm ready to put the lantern on, I just plug it in the back here and there's light again. One of the things I find absolutely charming with dolls' houses when you've got the lights off is being able to peek through all the rooms. Got the bedroom, see what's going on inside the bedroom, the bathroom, and we've got the kitchen, and spot the maid there, and the lounge as well. You can spot the lady sitting at the table. If we move the other way, we should better see the little girl with the chalk ice on her head. And then moving on to the conservatory unit, we've got the couple up there enjoying their tea by candlelight now, almost, aren't they? And unfortunately, the poor pianist has to play in the dark because he's got no light. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at Yorke House with me and seeing how I finished it and furnished it. It's an absolute gorgeous house, and I think it's going to go beautifully in my windows. I'm also going to do talks on my houses as well, and I think this one's going to be a right eye catcher, don't you? If you have any comments and suggestions, please leave them below. I absolutely love reading everyone's comments and suggestions. And if you've been watching my progress, I hope you've enjoyed all the progress videos I've done too. We had an introduction video where I showed everyone the house. We've done an unboxing video where I unboxed all the goodies that came with this house. I've used most of them here, but not all of them. Some of them are still being put away. They didn't quite fit in the house. And I've also done a lighting video too where I show everyone how I lit the house. So it's been an absolute privilege to be able to get hold of this house and put my mark on it and furnish it and light it. And I've really enjoyed every single step. And I hope you have too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.